Hello, hello, El Paso. If you notice, I am smiling from side to side because we haven't been on here for quite a while. After all those events that we have gone to since Cabo, it's been like, oh, I don't know if you agree. But
it's been much.
We want to introduce you to
you guys there? I think I lost you.
Can you see us now? We're live, guys, but we got a little bit of a hiccup here. Got it? Can you hear us okay, David?
Did I lose you?
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. I got you guys now.
Got it? Okay. So all the way from Dallas, Metroplex.
Whoop, whoop.
Dallas.
Deep down. Representing
Texas is David Bentinck. Let me tell you, David is super amazing. We met him over in Cabo when we went to that spontaneous event that we will never regret going to. It's just super amazing. And we literally stayed talking to you for so long and getting these amazing ideas from you and your story on how basically you joined the company and how we joined the company. But we're not going to talk about any of that today. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about David's story.
That's exactly what I told Jack. Is we need to hear the story, just to kind of what I think is working really good for everyone to really know about David. Is take us back to it all started, David. So take us a little because you're young. I mean, let's face it. What are we, like 22? Can you even buy a drink out there?
Oh man, dude, I wish I was 22, and I'm actually flattered that you said that, man. I'm 28.
Oh man, you're super young. You see, so that's super cool, and so that's why I really want to share it, because we actually just had we have our daughter that just joined our group. She's
awesome, man.
Yeah, I was super excited for her. She has to bring to our group. And then we have some other new ages that just kind of, bringing on. And I said, you know what, man, what better person to bring on the show to talk to on a more specific, what it looked like. And then we'll move it forward on, talk about the ups and downs, what was ugly, and then, what's changed and what's actually made you now take on this new role that you're in now.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I don't even know where to begin, right? I've got so much energy right now. Let's just run it back, man. I've been in the business for about 5 years now. Real estate has always been interesting to me, right? Prior to going to college, I was running not a business, but I would go and go into estate sales, and I would go and buy a lot of small items and go and flip it, right, for a profit. I would just say this: washer and dryers are a hot commodity. They make money. So I was doing that. I was going into estate sales, and so I would look. I was analyzing at what I was doing, and real estate interested me because, when I was in college, I was reading all these self development books and all these millionaire books that people wrote. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and real estate was always a facet of wealth. In whatever way, whether that's they were flipping houses, they were renting it. So. While I was in college, mind you, I was never the smartest kid. I just always try to sit next to him because, if you sit next to him, if you sit next to him, your grades go up somehow, right?
Yeah.
But I realized at one point in my life when I was going to college, it's actually my first day of university. I stepped on campus. I went to my first class. Nobody was real motivated, right? I felt like I was in a cage. And there's this quote by, I think it's Nipsey Hussle, where he says, if you don't get inspired by the people around you, you're in a cage. And so that's what I really felt. And so, I realized that college wasn't for me. I ended up dropping out. And at that time as well, I was watching, $1 Million Listing, Josh Altman and stuff like that. I was like, man, that seems easy. Just make a few phone calls and sell a couple $1 million houses. I could do that, right? Anybody could do that. And so, ended up getting my real estate license, and, the rest was history.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's exciting. So you said you're 28 years old now. That was 5 years ago, and you're taking on $1 million listing. That's pretty awesome that you have that that inspiration and to go after it. But let's keep it real. What did you find right out the gate? And did you find that instant success, or did you find yourself struggling just like a lot of agents?
Yeah,
a lot of agents do, right?
No, great question, man. So, my background is Hispanic, right? I have a Hispanic mom, and she puts a lot of emphasis on going to school and going to college, which is great. I have nothing against that. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And so, with that in mind, I knew that real estate, I could not fail. I can't fail, right? This, like Tony Robbins said, turn your shoulds into must. I said, this is a must. I must do it. There's no turning back, right? Failure is not an option.
Correct.
And, got into the business, very excited, right? I was that new agent who, cautiously optimistic,
Yeah.
Didn't know what I didn't know. So, joined with Keller Williams, great company, by the way, nothing negative to say about them, but didn't really teach me how to lead generate. And so for the first 8 months, I was just working on building the perfect business card and, the perfect website. Right. And so I was doing that, and finally I met a good friend of mine who was a real catalyst for me getting into real estate. He was actually, prospecting for business. So he had bought the Mojo dialer, he was making cold calls and stuff. So, I started to do that. Right. And so I realized that, this is much harder than I thought, because who likes to cold call? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, it wasn't about maybe month 8 into me getting my license. I was like in the valley of despair. I was ready to give up. I was like, man, should I just reevaluate, go to school? And, I got introduced to a real estate sales teams here in the DFW, and I joined their real estate team. I had nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And my business accelerated because I was getting taught, proper CRM tricks, how to lead generate, script practicing, how to follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. So I was getting taught properly on how to generate and follow up with business. And so I would say after about I didn't sell my first deal until about 13 months in, mind you. So it took 13 months from when I got licensed to sell my first deal. And actually I had two closings back to back. So I had, 2 for 1, right? Killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
And so the good and the bad, the ugly, man. It took me 13 months to sell my first deal, but it's been on an upward trend ever since.
Absolutely.
I love that. So when was that break? So you knew, or okay, so you kind of have like the same background as me, is where I was stuck as a solo agent. Like I was in a company, I just sat there, looked at a computer, but I don't even know if it was a computer. It was like this huge. And our maps were still, from Circle K.
Your age now.
Yeah, I'm telling my age. But I moved to a different company that I thought that would help me. And then finally I ended up joining into a team as well, just like you. And I feel that really, really kickstarted my business, is because you have that support with you during that time. That push, that drive, the accountability. Right. So how did it open up more doors to you and we're speaking to the newer agents out there that are just feel stuck, or feel in a place like they're sitting in a brokerage right now, but don't know how to grow or what to do.
Yeah. So, proximity is power. And I realized that my team leader, who I joined at the time, was a mega real estate agent and also mega investor. So him and his brother at the time held $60 million in real estate assets. Right now, they've got about $150 million real estate assets. And, they were about $50 million real estate sales teams. And now, we're doing about 75 million. And, the proximity is power, right? Your network equals your net worth. And so, I knew from the get, I would be taking a cut on, commission. Sometimes when you join a team, you'll get a cut on commission, but the value that you get from joining a real estate sales team is priceless, especially when you have the right people and you're aligned, with the right people. And so like I was getting a Harvard education, in the real estate sense, just being a part of this team. So I think, just being around the right people and, learning from one of the best in the business, because my team leader, Nick Good, he's probably one of the most known agents here in the DFW, especially him running a team. It accelerated my business. Right. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity. I've been on his team ever since. And, it's opened a lot of massive doors because he had a network that I didn't have access to. Right. Honestly, he's the one that introduced me to, Mr. Jay Kinder. Right. If it wasn't for my team leader, that opportunity would never have existed, and so I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful to that. And I'm forever indebted to my team leader. I have a great relationship with Mr. Jay Kinder. If you guys watching don't know who Mr. Jay Kinder is, I know, Edgar and Jackie did a interview with him. not too long ago. He's the co-founder of the National Association of Expert Advisors, #2 in the world for Caldwell Banker. Just a wealth of knowledge, and you can pretty much ask him anything and he has a solution for you, right? He knows exactly what to do. If you're stuck in some place, he knows exactly what you need to do to take you to the next step. And just a great businessman all around, and great mentor, completely selfless guy. But getting around the right people and joining that real estate sales team, really put me in proximity to people who I never imagined. It opened up a lot of doors and got me inside of rooms I never thought I would be in. And it's just working those relationships are key, because the quality of your life equals the quality of your relationship, right? Like if you and Edgar have a terrible relationship, how's the quality of your life going to be, right? It's going to be stressful. But if you guys have great communication, if you got great alignment, right, you guys are going to be killing it and rocking. That's the same thing. It happens when with your team, with your business partners, with your mom, with your dad, with your children, right? If you have a great relationship with them, the quality of it is what's going to keep that glue together and keep it flowing.
Amazing. Boom. Hey, boom shakalaka. I don't even know what to say after that.
Somebody transcribe this and put it into a book. Let's sell it.
Oh God, are you recording this? Yes, it's gonna be recorded. Amazing, David. And not only that, on your captions, just by what you're saying there, your alignment and the people that you surround yourself with, you are such a huge real estate influencer as well. And I didn't know this. And, I looked into your profile on Instagram. I'm like, I want to know who David is, extra sauce. And you have almost 30,000 followers. I don't know if that means anything. I'm barely at 1,200 and it's like so stressful to be able to keep that up. Now, you've been a real estate influencer. Not only that, a real estate mentor. How did you know these two things were, how did you find them? How did those opportunities come to you to be able to share your knowledge with everybody?
Yeah, great question. And so, when I was in the business, when I first got into the business, I wanted help and I knew I needed help, but I was that kind of guy that didn't want to ask for help. I wanted to do it by myself. And so, in hindsight, looking back, I wish there was somebody like me who I could go to for advice and help, right? And so that's what I'm trying to instill. That's my goal, is like, if somebody's needs help, even if they're not asking for it, I'll just randomly check in, like, hey, how's business? Is there anything I can do to serve? Watch my latest real estate video on the latest script practicing, whatever, right? So my goal is to try to be that person who I wish I had when I was first getting inside of the business. And, that's what I usually do. And, with EXP, it allows you to actually, if EXP vets certain people to actually become a certified mentor within EXP. And so I'm actually a mentor for EXP. I've got about 3 mentees right now. And it's been amazing to watch them grow into, producing agents.
Great. I really like that you said that. So, how do you get your social media so involved with that? Do you teach on that too, on how somebody can become an influencer, how they know how to be, what steps to take to be that influencer?
So anything that I learn, I try to pour into my community or pour into the agents who I'm mentoring, or even, the people who came in under me and partnered with me at EXP, right? And so I think with social media, what I try to do is it's just all about content, right? I think I try to post anything and everything, whether that's from my dogs to real estate, right? Anything in between, because you want people to get a glimpse of your life, right? You want people to get to know you, and you as Jackie and you as Edgar. You don't want real estate to be your identity, even though that is a big part of our lives. Right. Content is king. It doesn't matter what time you post, how many words you post. It's just all about, the consistency of what you post, right? And so it's just like watching TV, right? It's 80% show, 20% commercials, right? If you're posting, 100% commercials, like just real estate, people are going to get turned off. So I think I try to come from being very authentic, and, facts tell, but stories sell. So if you tell a story behind the picture, right? Like, when we went to Cabo, I told a story on how, and this is a true story, by the way, on how I booked that flight 8 hours in advance. I kept, juggling as I mean, should I go? Should I not go? I had a lot on my plate. But like our mentor Jay Kinder says, and Brent Gove, he says, big decisions happen at big events. So I decided to pull the trigger. I even got lucky because there was a room at the Cabo Resort where there's one room left, and we got that. Me and my buddy, and that's actually where I met you guys. And having that met you guys in the jacuzzi. So
you're in the jacuzzi, people.
Yeah,
it was so fun too. I mean, we met so many great people like you there, and that started such an amazing relationship, right? And I'm excited to have like you and other people like that in our lives that we can now reach out to and have that relation and ask for advice. Correct. Right? Because we're always wanting to learn. We're always needing to grow in our business. So it's just so amazing to see that you can pour back into the community like that and the agents, David. Seriously, that's why I mentioned that you're also, let's hit on this. You're an investor as well. How did you get into that? And agents that want to do the investing part, how does that work into, or how can they, I guess, structure that, right? Am I taking all your questions up? I'm sorry.
You're on a road, Jackie. Don't even worry about
it. Let's keep it flowing. So, I think being in the business kind of puts you on the front lines of, any deal that comes across your desk, right? And so I think, we're in a good position to know of any off-market deals. And, even, working with being in the business or having your license, I think a lot of people, really, or just, if you have a great relationship with maybe that listing agent, you say, hey, Edgar, I'm looking to buy this for myself, that communication, that relationship goes a long way. So I think just being in the business really helps us have a lot of opportunities and opens a lot of doors for us, to be honest. And, I'm all about, creating revenue streams, right? Whether that's, through our EXP platform or, real estate, right? Real estate has always been the goal, right? Buy and hold, that's always been my dream. And so that's what I'm working towards as well. I got big goals. I got big things I got to do. I want to retire my parents at some day with my real estate investments. So, these are some of the things that, kind of drive me on, what I do and why I do it. So, I think, to answer your question, I think, being in real estate gives us a competitive edge on numbers, negotiations, and just what's available out there.
No, absolutely. Now, right now with the way the market is, I'm just going to piggyback off the investing part of it. For, we carry an audience that, they want to jump in. We get the calls. Hey, we want to go ahead and invest, get a couple of properties. What do you see, David, there? I know you're in Dallas, but I mean, it's pretty transferable here to El Paso here as well. What do you see the trend being here moving forward this year? Buy, hold, do you want to flip? What do you want to share with those guys?
Man, that's a good question. I wish I had that crystal ball, Edgar, to really, accurately answer your question. But unfortunately, just with the market trends, I try to study the market on a daily basis. And I use this great website called keepingcurrentmatters.com. Have you guys heard of it?
Yes. Keeping Current Matters, guys. And we'll post it there on the bottom.
Yeah, it's a great tool, great website. And it kind of gives you that 30,000 foot view, bird's eye view of what's happening across the real estate market. Of course, it's kind of, each market is going to be tailored, differently, just based on what's happening. But, I try to keep myself updated on what's happening in the market trends. And so I think, I think we're still going to be at a inventory shortage as long as there's demand, right? DFW has become one of the hottest relocation hotspots, especially with it, because all these other states have all these tight COVID restrictions, and some people are just sick of it, right? So they want to come down to either Texas or Florida. That pretty much everybody who I've talked to are thinking, hey, I'm looking at Texas or I'm looking at Florida, and as long as there's demand, there's always going to be appreciation. So I think we're still going to have inventory shortage. I think there's going to be constant flow of demand. And so I think, prices are naturally going to, go up, probably not in the same percentage as what we saw in the past 18 months. It's probably going to be more leveled out now. They're not going to jump, 20% like they have, probably on a nice steady flow of anywhere from 2 to 8%. I think I saw this latest article on Keeping Current Matters where by the end of 2021, home prices are going to appreciate by another 7%. Yep. So, I think prices are just going to still, consistently go up. And also we're still going to be in an inventory shortage as well.
Yeah, I feel the same way here.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while. What would you say to those that you feel, I get hit with this quite a bit. hey, in a few months, that's when I'm going to start going and getting all the homes that people are getting foreclosed on. And I know what Keeping Current Matters has kind of taught us, the banks don't want those homes, right? They're looking to doing different things with them and giving them their equity that they now have in a lot of those properties. So what do you think? What do you, I guess if you can give some advice to those people that are kind of waiting on that?
Well, I think what's happening right now is when foreclosures do come available, I don't think there's going to be that. I don't think there's going to be that. I don't think there's going to be very much of foreclosures coming onto the market. And here's why: is because this is a lot different from 2008, right? People think we're in a bubble. I don't believe so, and here's why. Back then, people were doing. I wasn't in the business in 2008. I don't know if you guys were. You were?
Yeah, I was. I joined right when it crashed. So it's a different type. This is a pandemic. It's not a market crash.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you can survive that, you can survive any real estate market, Jackie.
It's pretty hard. And I missed out on I should have been an investor during that time.
I know.
Those houses.
But I think this time is different because now we're seeing, back then they were giving out the ninja loans. We call them the ninja loans, and no income, no asset, no job loans, right? Did I get that right? No income, no job, no assets. And so you can walk into a bank and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, hey, I make this much, and the lender's like, okay, you're approved, right? Without even verifying anything. Now, now we're seeing people put anywhere from 5% down to 10% down to 20% down. We're seeing, verification of employments happen, 2-3 times during the transaction. Right. I've actually got some complaints from my buyers who are like, man, why is the lender asking for, these documents over and over again? It's because they're trying to verify everything, and make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So I think it's very different from now than what it was back then. And so with foreclosures, I don't think there's going to be very many because ever since then, I think there's a lot of homes that still do have a lot of these homeowners have equity built in them. There's still equity, so they're not going to let them get foreclosed on. They're going to sell them. Okay,
you hit it right on the button. Right they have, and it's what. We have to backtrack a little bit. The homeowners don't even know that they're sitting on that type of equity. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm really hoping that, and I'm really sure that that the lenders are telling them, hey, you have this amazing equity inside of your home. These are your options.
Correct.
So I've just seen a lot more options for the people that got left behind, or couldn't make that mortgage payment. But as far as foreclosures, I totally agree with you. We're not going to see those type of foreclosures like we did back in 08.
Yeah, and another reason why is because loan officers and lenders have been offering homeowners and sellers loan modifications on their loan, right? So and there's been a couple laws that have been passed that states that loan officers and lenders must offer these to homeowners.
Correct.
And so if homeowners are have equity, right? I think I read that most of them have more than 10% equity, and also are getting loan modifications offered to them. Do you think they're really going to let their home get foreclosed on? No. Or take advantage of one of the greatest markets?
Yeah. So I've just seen, I haven't really seen much of the foreclosure. And if people do ask for the foreclosures, it's almost the same market price as what we'd be listing it anyways. And I really have not come across many of them in the MLS at all. So I mean, I think we're good. Let's first say, guys, it's going to be a good market still.
It's definitely a good
It should balance out.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we may see because of this, right? Because I think the Supreme Court just threw out the CDC's new extension of the eviction moratorium.
Yes.
So I think we might see more homes pop up on the market, but when you really look at it, I think that inventory is just going to get gobbled up by the demand from the market. So I don't think anything's going to change, to be honest.
I don't, and these rental prices are just going up as well. I went into a multiple application, not multiple bid war, but a multiple application. What's your best? I said, what? I've never been asked that before. So I went up $25 on the rent, and I still didn't. So it's just super strange, right? We're all learning.
We're all learning as we go, right? Yeah.
Well, that should be a new topic, though. Like, how to compete in a multiple lease application scenario. Like, how much should a tenant pay over their lease, you know, like
Isn't that ridiculous?
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's the first time I've ever heard of in my life. So owners are not only being able to make more money on their rentals, they can even cash out on their equity in such a huge lump sum.
No,
but that's a great question, Edgar, on the markets, and we're in Texas. So
hey, I got David Bentinck on the line here, man. We're gonna ask him everything, and we're waiting here for the audience to see if anybody has some questions here for us as well, as they usually will pop out. I wanted to say hello to Sylvie Romel. She obviously always jumps on here and gives us our props all the way from Montreal.
She's from Montreal. Hi, Sylvie. How are you? She's always supporting us, and she's from Remax, David.
Awesome. Well, hello.
Yeah. Hopefully we can provide some value and, talk later.
If this show has been valuable, drop some fire emojis in the comments.
There you go. That's what we need to see.
If it has been valuable, our audience, please. And you could comment later on the replay. So how do you feel about all these other countries opening up?
Yeah, how exciting is that, right?
I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
With EXP?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting because now we have an opportunity to show these agents the model, probably a model that they've never seen. Right here in the United States, Keller Williams kind of had the similar model with the revenue, with the profit share and similar splits. But I think these other countries, it's going to be completely unique model for people to look at. The opportunity for us to grow our organizations is now tenfold, right? Because we now can partner with people in these different countries. And so, as long as, EXP does amazing, which has been outperforming the market, whenever we went to, the recent conference here in Dallas, the Build conference, where we got to see Tony Robbins, even Tony Robbins was edifying EXP on how, Realogy, who kind of owns all these kind of separate real estate companies, Caldwell Banker, Century 21. I may be mislabeling them, but Realogy is worth 1.9 or 1.8 billion when EXP is now valued at 3.9 billion. So we're starting to see some massive growth with EXP opening up in several countries. So I think that should speak volume as well as what this company is doing and accomplishing. And also, if the company is doing amazing, which is it's outperforming the market, our stock value goes up, right? It's been kind of plateaued a little bit because I think the company, was trying to, see what their next moves are. Right. But I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the stock, but over the past month or two, it's gone up maybe like $20.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it went up. I think I saw it yesterday. It was up like plus 3.3 something
we
or whatever it was.
We were getting those calls. Hey, what's going on over at EXP? It's been kind of quiet for a little bit. I said, hey, just
wait. Just wait.
Right?
Yeah. And so you write it and you see the growth, and you see, what 18th country opened up yesterday with Germany. I thought that was amazing. Mm-hmm. We continue to just bring added value to like you said, a model and a business that we probably never thought we have an opportunity to go and attack if we really wanted to, so it's really, truly, truly amazing.
It's exciting to see like their footprint, right, in other countries. Like this is a model that nobody has ever seen before, right? And so, when I first got presented this model, the gate of my mind was closed, right? I was so bought into KW. I loved it. I didn't want to go anywhere. Even though the splits were better, when I got presented to it from my team leader, it looked good on paper. I was like, nah, I'm not interested. But, I ended up biting the bullet and pulling the trigger anyways. And it's just been incredible, this amazing platform. And so, I love talking with EXP to other agents, right? And I wish that I can have more of a conversation with them more in depth, because I think when people hear EXP, they're like, oh, I've already heard about it, but sometimes they don't know, I like to tell them, it's my responsibility to make sure what you're saying no to, right? And so I think when you hit people with that question and, you explain it more in depth and you come from a position of value and also, really just, showing them the opportunity, not just trying to recruit, right? Correct. People get more open-minded to the opportunity. So that's what happened with me. And I think it's just going to be incredible to see what's going to happen over the next 10 years. EXP's, goal is, I think, 100 countries and 100,000 agents, or 1 million agents in 10 years. In 10 years, 100 countries and 1 million agents. And I think just with the trajectory that it's on right now, it's going to surpass that.
I think
Absolutely.
so too. I really feel so too. The numbers are just skyrocketing and skyrocketing. And that's a really good point, David, that you have brought up. When you went with Nick Good and you joined his team, how did you guys end up transitioning over to EXP with Nick Good? Were you guys like a huge group and you all transferred together, or you guys were just boutique? Were you guys boutique broker? No, you guys were at Keller Williams, right?
Yeah, KW.
How did you guys transition into EXP?
Yeah, great question. So we were going to make the switch in December of 2018, and I think Nick had actually switched his license over for 3 days, and we were all going to follow suit soon. But I think Keller Williams had tried to make him an offer that he couldn't refuse, a mafia offer. And, it looked good on paper. And so we decided to stay at Keller Williams for another 6 months just to see how this new opportunity would pan out. And it was false promises. And, my team leader was, sick of it. So he's like, hey, we're going. And so he switched over. Then soon after, we just all decided to switch over at one time. So, as soon as he made the move, then, we all made the move and transition with them, it's a fairly easy process as well. The onboarding process has really changed back then since I joined back in 2019 of July. I think it took me about 10 days or 2 weeks to finally get onboarded into the system. And now I think they've got, numerous onboarding agents to assist you. And so you'll be able to go up and running within, 24 hours. I actually brought on a commercial agent, and, she's like, David, I want to join. And so it was a Friday and she needed to get something out by Monday. EXP was able to onboard her on Saturday. She was able to get all her technology up and all her paperwork and all her, SkySlope up and running. And she was able to make that deal happen on Monday. That's how quickly things happen. And so
wow.
I think if it wasn't for that, she would have had a bad experience coming on board, and she may not have decided to stay. But, EXP has been amazing in the transition. Like you said, like you asked, has been incredible as well.
And I asked that question because we do have several, some boutique brokerages here, like medium or big brokerages, that don't know how they would move their group here or their team here. And it is an easy, like what you're saying. Well, nothing's easy, but like the transition is manageable. Right.
It is. And I think people will need to read whatever, the form that they sign, whatever, the contract or what do they call it? The IDX or IDA?
IDX, no?
What's it, the letter? The letter?
IC independent contract agreement, ICA. That's what it's called, ICA.
ICA.
So okay. I think people need to read that. Just to, I think it's different with every brokerage, because I think if you have listings at one brokerage, you can't move them over, or you need to close those out before you move over. So that's something that team leaders and people need to be aware of. But other than that, the onboarding transition to EXP is phenomenal. It's smooth.
That's pretty awesome. And let me ask you, it was like transitioning into this conversation is, I know EXP has changed all of our lives. I've only been here, me and Edgar, we're going on 2 years in October.
Okay.
And I never thought of the opportunities that we've literally had, right in front of us. I could go on the things that have changed our lives. What are say the top 3 things that have changed your business and yourself? When it comes to maybe not, the change. Yeah, let's say the change.
Well, EXP really encompasses that collaboration over competition mindset. And so in hindsight, when I'm looking back at, I don't know why I love KW so much. I think it's because the office camaraderie, just going and, bullshitting with other agents. And so, but what I realized is that when I would go and talk to them, like, hey, how's business? What's working for you? They would keep the cards close to their chests, right? And so I think what's really changed and helped my business is able to learn from some of the top players within EXP in our private, Honey Badger Facebook group, which you and I are only a part of, and along with other EXP agents, is that now we're able to collaborate with some of these top individuals. And so they're actually doing a weekly mastermind and going live and sharing what's working for them. And so we're able to collaborate with them, reach out, ask questions at any point. So that's been a game changer for me in my business. You know, my business has skyrocketed 33% even during the COVID pandemic.
Wow.
And it's been incredible. Even like small implementations can help you grow your business, you know, substantially, right? One that I can really point out is that I did not have a CRM when I was at KW. EXP allows me to have KV Core, which is a phenomenal tool to help me keep in touch with my database, and it utilizes artificial intelligence to help re-engage with, you know, my database. You know, send out, you know, monthly text messages or even happy birthday text messages. I mean, it's on autopilot, right? You know, I'll set that up and I'll get a text message like, hey man, I appreciate the birthday wish. How are you? How's business? So that helps me open up to more conversations like, you know, how are you? How's the house? You know, what can I do for you? Anything you need from me? You know, who do you know that I can assist? So having a database and having that tool, KV Core, has just been phenomenal. And it's really helped me grow up my business. That's another thing. And, you know, the collaboration and just meeting people like you guys. You know, you guys have been an inspiration to me. I mean, I love what you guys have going on. It's like you guys are partners. You guys are a partnership. You know, you guys have that growth mindset, right? Not one of you is that like that potted plant, you know, where like, okay, this is where I'm plotted. This is where I'm going to stay. You know, I'm not going to learn anything else. I'm not going to read no more books. I'm not going to go to more conferences. You're not there, right? You both got that growth mindset. That's what I love about you guys. And so, you know, EXP has helped me meet folks like you who have been an inspiration. You know, like you guys have an amazing thing going on. And, you know, I can go on about EXP, right? But those are some of the major things that's really been helpful is the collaboration with top agents and, you know, just having that database that, you know, was really been amazing. And so, I mean, I've met a lot of people who's also introduced me to new technology, right? Like Streamyard. You know, somebody in our organization introduced me to Streamyard. I didn't know what Streamyard was, right? I just started using it like 8 months ago.
Yeah, or me too. Likewise, and Nick introduced us to it.
Yeah, just to put it all together.
Yeah, Nick Krem. Yep. So, and these are tools that helps us. These are tools that helps us get our voice and messages out and get you know, get more exposure for us, man. If people aren't talking about you, they're not referring you. And so if you stay on top of mind, like a platform like this helps, you know, like this is content, right? This helps us stay on top of mind.
Absolutely.
And so this is just another, you know, small implementation that's been helping us get more business. You know, you guys were doing the 30-day live challenge, right? I'm sure you guys were getting people reaching out to you.
Let me tell you, that was 90 days. And I need to, I still haven't done it. And I was going to die like the first week. And I told Edgar, how the hell am I going to get through 90 days? Okay. And let me tell you, I did it. And it's all mindset, like you said, right? And then we had a group. So we pushed each other. We pushed each other no matter what.
Did you finish it?
I finished the 90 days.
It's that whole accountability, you know what I mean? And that's what's really cool. Just to kind of touch upon some of the things you were saying, Dave. It's the accountability that you get to create with the entire group, the network that we have. You know, I think there's been numerous times I'll just pick up the phone, call David, and just shoot the shit and be like, hey, what do you think on this? Or hey, we're going to be doing this to provide, you know, some opportunity for our business here, for our respective cities. And I thought it was great. I think it's awesome what we do there. And just little things like that, little tidbits, and like this 90-day video challenge. I told Jackie, I go, man, it's allowed you to really show the authentic, you know, being authentic with people. And you know, there's times where, you know, I'm eating, I'm in no position to be on camera, and she's just there going away with it, you know. And I'm like, damn, Jackie, at least give me a heads up. But it's, you know, it's good time, man. And so definitely wanted to just, you know, share with you, man. Yeah, no doubt.
It's good for us, and I really like it. But you know what? And that's the reason why I asked you is if there's any agents that are sitting there like right now and they feel stuck in their business, right? And they feel just how because I mean, I ask the questions all the time, like, how did they get there? How can I get there? And what's the gap? Like, what do I need to do to become that person? Right. Or, you know, and like you said, before I used to be so fearful to ask people, but now it's just so amazing that you could just jump on someone's calendar or on their calls and just, hey, can I talk to you for 15, 20 minutes of your time? Right. So 100%. I mean, that's how I think that we've been growing, how you've been growing. And I just want to send that message to the agents that are out there. If they feel like they want to double their numbers or, you know, they need the help of maybe creating a team and they don't know where to start, or, you know, what was the advice that you would give? And you hit it right on the button is, you know, the KB core, the collaboration, the mentorship. What else can we say?
Just about everything.
Starting a podcast like this, like you mentioned, where to go. I guess, you know.
And I think it's finding that person who you want to become, right? Like if there's a new agent in your marketplace, right? And you guys are obviously killing it. I follow you guys all the time. I think it's finding that person who you want to become, right? And just having that direct mentorship with them, because if they done, you know, you guys have been EXP 2 years, right? You guys built an incredible business as well. You know, how long did it take you to build your business?
Gosh,
we're building
15 years and we're still building it.
Right. So it's taken you guys 15 years, but now, like you said, you're bringing your daughter into your group.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, you know, they're learning from people who have 15 years of experience. And so now, you know, whatever business you have now at 15 years, she can probably accomplish it in 5 years, because you've already know what to do, you know, what not to do, you know, what works and what doesn't work, and you can teach and instill her. So that's the advice I give to new agents. Find somebody who you want to become, mimic their actions, you know, and get around them, get around the right people. You know, proximity is power, just like Tony Robbins says.
I love it.
Man, you guys heard it here first.
David, you're just so powerful. I love how you speak. I love who you are. I love everything about you. And you're one of our business partners out there in Dallas. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're a referral partner out there. How do we do business from Dallas to El Paso? How can we shine and let everybody know how we like can feed each other into success with just being partners all over the states and country?
Just, you know, talk about me, you know, just, you know, refer me some business, you know, convince some of your homeowners that you have in your database. Like, hey, have you guys thought about moving to Dallas? And
got you.
Throw my name out there.
So EXP has a referral program, or not referral program, right? Like a referral group. So, I mean, a lot of our business comes from referrals. I bet you too.
Yeah.
In your, you know, somebody's out in Phoenix, somebody's out in Florida, somebody's out where in Japan, coming over here to Dallas, or so
everywhere.
We get the phone picked up and we get referred business. So that's an amazing feature.
You're talking about Exp Workplace, and Workplace is a fantastic platform. It's a fantastic platform for you know, it's like the Facebook business, you know, it's business Facebook, right?
Absolutely.
And, you know, EXP has created this workplace group where it has several groups for you to go learn from: KB Core training, EXP referral networks. It's got, you know, certified mentor programs. It's got, you know, anything and everything. EXP University. So if you miss something in the training, which EXP offers live training, I think there's about 80 hours of training last time I saw. If you may have missed one, you can go back to EXP Workplace and go watch them, you know, recorded. But the EXP Workplace is a fantastic tool. I'm on there almost every day, to be honest. Just even if I can't get a hold of somebody within our organization, I'll go to EXP Workplace, type in a question, and it's probably more than likely been already answered, right? And so that, you know, the efficiency of EXP, right? Like going in there, finding questions on the spot, and also going into our virtual world, which, you know, a lot of people think it's cartoony, but if you actually go in there and, you know, ask a broker a question, which I went in there yesterday, I needed to ask a broker a question about something. I was in there for 5 minutes. Answer my question, and boom, that was it. I didn't have to drive to the office. I didn't have to go and make an appointment. I don't have to wait a week until they come back from vacation. There's multiple brokers on hand. And these are Texas brokers. These aren't just brokers within the office, right? These are Texas brokers.
Absolutely. I think we have like 5, no?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think we have 5.
It sounds right. It sounds right.
It sounds about right. So
there's always one available. So that's the biggest thing, because I know that's always sometimes a challenge for people. You can't get appointments with broker, or don't want to talk to the broker. Sometimes, I mean, not that we want to talk to our brokers, but when we need to, you know, it's quick, easy access to them for sure.
Do you want to ask David anything important before we take all your time, David?
Important.
Ask him something.
Everything's important.
I know everything's important for our audience who's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, again, Dave, I just want to personally just really thank you, man, because again, you're always a lending hand, whether, like I said, it's via phone. email, we'll message here back and forth. I know we've been playing this one here since probably Cabo, so I'm glad that we got you on here, man. And let's do it on a more frequent basis, just because again, this is just so much added value that we can bring to our audience. Or
maybe we could do a class together. Would you be open to doing a class?
Let's run it.
Yeah,
let's run it, baby.
Let's do it. We could talk about maybe a social media platform on, how to grow that. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do that. Maybe we can put a class together.
Yep, let's do it.
Hosted by you and I.
Let's run it.
Let's do it. So we'll put that in. And what do you have for us last, David? Are you going to Vegas, by the way? Of course.
Yeah, I mean, you can't miss out on EXP conferences, right?
No. Yeah.
Especially not on the biggest one, right? Especially not on the biggest one. Will you guys be there?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be there. When we signed up in 2019, it was there at EXP Con. And we haven't been there since because COVID hit right after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we'll be there.
Yeah, the first one. I went to the first one in 2019. It was amazing. It was epic. Just mind-blowing. It's incredible. Like what you saw at the Build conference in Mexico, it's like twice that size. It's you're going to get a lot of value from that as well.
Oh, my God. I was like, where do I sign?
That's really what it was, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. No, so again, Dave, do you have any last closing stuff here?
Last closing.
Yeah. You know what? When I first started the business, man, I was in a shell. Yeah, I'm very an extroverted person, right? And so my parting words to people watching is, if you don't ASK, you don't GET, right? If you don't ask, you don't get. Closed mouths don't get fed. Okay, so if you're not asking for the business, the business is not going to get handed to you, right? I was on a coaching call the other day, and so one of my coaches, he said, the more offers minus no's equals yeses, right? So the more offers you make, you're going to get a shitload of no's, right? Yeah. But it's just a numbers game, whether that's, asking people, if they are interested in joining EXP, or if somebody's looking to sell their property, right? The more offers you make, the more no's you're going to get. They're closer to a yes as you're going to get. So that's some advice that I would leave off to people watching.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Like it. Now, man, we'll
thank you so much, David. Again, we want to thank you for your time, and we can't wait to put that little class together. And I think that would just give more value to everybody who's out there.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, and what you guys are doing is incredible. Keep up the great work.
Likewise, David. Okay, take care in Dallas. Bye.